Hi, everybody. This is Roberto Alonso from the superiorleader.com. And what I want to share today is a friend of mine just recently shared on LinkedIn an article by Forbes on how empathy is one of the most important characteristics a leader can have. And the article is great, and I just posted it as well on my LinkedIn profile, excuse me. But the stats on what's happening on mental health is just alarming, and especially with World Mental Health Day coming up this Sunday, October 10th. I wanted to share some tips and some things that I wrote, 10 specific things that I think hopefully will help some of you, some of us, when it comes to what we're doing, how to handle anxiety, stress, and all the things related to the pandemic and what's going on related to how it is affecting us work-wise and in all our lives. So I took some notes. One of the things I want to recommend is we all need to start scheduling 55-minute meetings instead of an hour-long meetings. And take those 5 minutes to, I talked about stretching in my previous video. Take those 5 minutes to reconnect, go hug, kids, wife, whoever's around, do breathing exercises and not have that stress like, I got to get off because I have a hard stop at, this and that, and jump into the next call. I've been in times where I've done those, 6 hours of worth of call back to back to back, and it's just so stressful. So making sure that we start scheduling 55-minute meetings and talking with your company that, we can all schedule 55-minute meetings, and because we all need that mental health, we all need that spacing. It's the time to space out and to reconnect and to stretch and to just breathe. I had talked about stretching as well. So as number two, just really be intentional. I just got off a meeting and did my stretching routine, my connecting physically and resetting, because it really can be very stressful. Investing on standing desks, that's what I need to do myself. I think it's worth it. I think there's ranges between $300 to $600 depending on where you are and where you live. Things are a little bit more expensive here in Costa Rica in certain categories, but it's an investment. Being standing while in a meeting, being standing while working, it's really makes a difference, especially for those of us who have back problems or disc problems. It makes a world of difference, and it allows you to move a little bit more as well. Number four, having that emotional awareness between meetings, or just having that emotional awareness during the day, and just asking yourself, and that's what I teach to a lot of people, is just asking yourself, what am I feeling right now? And saying, all right, I feel anxiety, or I feel peace, or I feel dread, or I feel sadness. Just asking yourself, what are you feeling right now? And then backtracking, and I can go on for quite a bit about pairing your thoughts with your emotions and getting to the source of your emotions. But just even having that awareness of what you're feeling is really important. Being intentional, number five, being intentional about scheduling physical and workout time during work hours, and having that conversation with your managers and with your leaders. If there's a yoga class I love at 12, and knowing it's going to take me more either to go to the place or connect or shower afterwards, just having a conversation with the people in your teams and making it all right to not schedule, meetings at Wednesdays at 1 or Wednesdays at 12, because maybe that's when I do my yoga class, and just being open about it. Like, we all need this. We all need to be talking about how I'm taking care of myself. How are you taking care of yourself? Because it's I encourage you to read that Forbes article, because the data is very scary. Increase in exhaustion, increase in anxiety, increase in depression, increase in irritability. The numbers, in honestly, as if we need more bad news, I think the numbers itself on what's happening in mental health are worse than the actual numbers of COVID. And as most of us thought this was going to be over a long time ago, it looks like it's going to be around for a while. So we need to develop a new lifestyle, a new philosophy on life of how we take care of ourselves. And so I think it's a great timing that now that the World Mental Health Day is coming up here in a couple of days. Another recommendation is really having a grasp on your schedules. A lot of people, I do it sometimes myself. I might come home earlier to spend time with my daughter, leave the office earlier, those of you who still go to the office, or even, if you're doing it virtually. And maybe you'll spend time with your family or do different stuff from 4 to 6 or 4 to 7 or 8. And if you decide to sit down at 8 again at night or 9 or whatever, people are like, no, you need to disconnect. Choose the schedule that works for you, that gives you mental, emotional peace. If stopping at 3 in the afternoon and re-engaging for work at 10 at night, that's the mix that helps you. I'm not saying that's the recommended one or that's a great one because it's kind of late, but, and of course you don't have the sunlight at that time, and there's a lot of things that we can talk about, but make sure that whatever schedule you're using is what's providing you with mental health, with peace, with lack of anxiety, with a format that fits you and accomplishes that it's a mix that's good for you and in which you're taking care of yourself. Taking more days off. A lot of us, build up a bunch of days off, maybe because we're gonna, do something with the kids, or that's when you can take the kids to Disney or whatever. So we might build, 10 days so you can have a big long vacation. I strongly recommend that you, if you have to take, 2 or 3 days more often, or 1 day off more often, instead of building up all your vacation. It's almost like a escape valve that helps you release that tension. I've been doing long weekends where I literally schedule. Sometimes I'll take Friday off and Monday off, so that gives me 4 days, or maybe just the Friday or the Monday. And I noticed I just did one of those last weekend. I went to the beach. Oh my gosh, I noticed the difference when I came back. I was like renewed, at peace, and many other things. Let's see what else. Tapping into resources companies have to offer. I work with a lot of multinational companies, large companies, and excuse me as I get comfortable. Some companies offer counseling, offer many sessions. There are a certain amount of sessions. They have support groups. They have a lot of sites that inside the company that you could talk about, and resources you can tap into. I think a lot of those resources go untapped and wasted, honestly. Some companies offer coaching, and just make sure that you're very aware of everything your company has to offer in terms of emotional, mental, psychological support, or mental health. A couple more. Just learning about mental health, and reading about depression, reading about symptoms of anxiety. On Monday, I have the privilege of being the guest speaker for a company who is bringing me in just to talk about this topic and in rolling up our sleeves about questions about specific symptoms of what anxiety looks like, doing away with the taboo of mental health. If someone is having panic attacks, people are like, oh my gosh, or am I going to get fired if I have panic attacks, or should I not tell people because I'm going through this? At this point, it is going to be so normal for people to be facing all these mental health issues that, believe me, number one, it never should have been a stigma. And number two, we need to start talking about these topics. And the last one, and I could go on with a lot, but the last one, monitor your sleep. When it comes to doing exercise, eating well, and sleeping, there's some research that shows that it's one of the most important ones. So anyway, just concerned, just wanted to share some things that I think hopefully will be helpful to you, to the company where you work, to you as leaders. And let's just raise the awareness, take care of ourselves, take care of the people around us. And let's just all unite and face this crisis we're facing, not just COVID-wise, but in terms of emotional and psychological and just general well-being. I hope this helps. I'll see you soon. See you in the next one.